Today on General Hospital, Joss gives Jason intel Carly is more committed than ever to bringing Jack down, and Drew continues to threaten Alexis. In court, Christina takes the stand. And Justine asks her about dawn of day. Christina explains that it was a cult both she and Willow were in, but not at the same time. She also states that they were both in Shiloh's inner circle of trust and received firearm training as they essentially became Shiloh. H's bodyguards. Alexis cross-examines and brings up that Michael had Willow talk to Christina about dawn of day to try to get her out of it, painting Willow in a better light. Christina admits she's also never seen Willow hold a weapon. Brooklyn is the next call to the stand. And she explains that nobody regularly checked on Edward's study or the guns to notice one was miss. Brooklyn also relays the entire family being privy to watching Drew and Willow's nursery sex tape. Justine says one could argue Drew had a powerful sway over Willow to convince her to have sex in the nursery where her children slept. Brooklyn steps down without cross-examination, and Drew shakes his head. Liz is called to the stand next to discuss the day the police found the gun in her home and how Willow was staying with her after Drew and Willow's first wedding blew up. Justine suggests that Drew and Nina's affair was motive enough for Willow to want Drew dead. Justine continues to question Liz, who reveals she had seen Willow and Drew arguing before their reconciliation and second marriage. Justine asks what Willow told her about Drew and the kids. Liz admits she said Michael wouldn't let her see the kids with Drew in the picture, which leads Justine to suggest another motive for wanting to remove Drew personally. Alexis cross-examines, and Liz says she's never seen Willow act in anger towards Drew. Liz says she's an excellent nurse, friend, and mom. The judge decides to call a recess. Willow excuses herself to splash water on her face, and Drew warns Alexis that she's blowing this and is on track never to see Scout again. He has decided to name Michael as his shooter when he's called to testify. The lawyer warns him that he'll only make Willow look guiltier and that she won't lose her license again because he lied on the stand. Drew tells her that she had her chance. Now it's his turn. During recesses, Chase and Dante discuss the missing video, and Dante believes it was deliberately tampered with. Chase insists it wasn't him, which Dante is pleased to hear. Court resumes, and Drew is put on the stand. He recounts the events of that night he was shot. Justine then asks if he knows who shot him. At his cabin, Isaiah surprises Portia, who is in bed with some board games to keep them occupied and her calm. Isaiah has been thinking about being a father, and if this baby is his, he will be the father the baby deserves. Portia knows that already and promises she will have the paternity test as soon as she can. Their games are interrupted when Curtis calls to check on her and offers to bring her anything she needs. She says there is no need and asks about the trial. He says prosecution has a strong case and he wants this over so they can focus on the baby and their future. At Cafe Sherry, Britt and Brad ran up a bill of over $2,000, and neither can cover it. Eventually, Britt decides there is only one way out of this, and they run for it. Brad and Britt return to her place. She says she'll repay the waiter, but she loves being able to laugh again. She notes this has been the best reunion she's had since being back. Aside from Rocco, with whom she's been spending time, she thinks they could be close if Lulu would stay out of the way. Brad reminds her that back then, she really wasn't ready to be a mom, but he knows she's grown. She points out she's far better than the father of Lulu's other child, Valentine. At Joss, Jason asks for everything she knows about Brennan's investigation. Joss says Sidwell, Dalton, and the Poppies are all connected to Faison's final project, and Britt is in on it. Joss doesn't know what the project is, but it involves cold fusion. She goes on to explain that Dalton was feeding Britt data at the 5 Poppies, and when she came back, Britt continued working with Dalton, who is now missing. When she mentions Lucas living on Spoon Island, she notices Jason is thinking about something. He admits he ran into Britt on the pier their first night back, and she could have been headed there. However, he believes she's also desperate to get her medication, which may be why she is still involved in this mess. At Carly's, Valentine tells her that he bets Jack still has the FBI's evidence against her and is waiting for the time to use it, noting she's connected to many powerful men, such as Sonny and Jason. She can't believe he'd do that, given all the good things he's done for her over the past year. Valentine asks, "Are you saying the good things he's done outweigh what he did to your daughter?" Valentine says Jack is a liar. He always has been. And while he believes Jack has feelings for her, their relationship was built on a lie. When they started their relationship, she was just an asset to Jack. He also says their agreement is finished. At Lulu's, she defends Nathan to Jack, stating that Faison shot him and took 7 years of his life away from him, his wife, and child. Nathan says he'd never stay away from his family willingly, but Jack says, with Faison, anything is possible. Lulu tells Jack that this is her house and he has no jurisdiction here. He warns her that she's making a mistake, and the longer Valentine is free, the worse it is for everyone, Charlotte included. Brennan storms out and runs into Nina. He hopes she's here to honor her part of their deal. She is aware of their agreement and appreciates what he's done for her. Jack takes off, and Nina knocks on the door. Lulu invites her in, and she's surprised to see her brother here. Nina wanted to take Charlotte out for a bite, knowing she's going stir crazy. Charlotte runs down the steps and begs her mom to let her go out. Lulu agrees after Nathan offers to put a tail on them. After Nina and Charlotte depart, Nathan again tells Lulu not to worry, but Lulu fears that if Charlotte overheard what Jack said, she'll want to be with her father even more. Across town, Nina and Charlotte go to Cafe Sherry, and they talk about her father. Charlotte confesses her dad has gotten in touch with her. At her place, Lulu tells Nathan how horrible it was listening to Jack accuse him of faking losing 7 years. She knows how it feels to have the world move on without you. And sadly, Maxie will too. Nathan says they'll help Maxie adjust together. At the cafe, Nina tells Charlotte not to say anything else to her, as powerful men are looking for her father. She loves her, but she can't trust anyone with this information, not even her. At Carly's, Valentine says he can't work with her if she has doubts about Jack. Carly says knowing Jack was playing her this entire time makes her hate him even more, as she makes it clear that she's never been more committed to taking Jack down than she is right now. At Joss, she offers to work with Jason on stopping Brennan and Sidwell, and won't take no for an answer, as this now involves her mom, Lucas, and Vaughn. He won't argue with her but asks her to be careful. She is certain she can get him the information he needs, and thinks this won't be the last time they work together. At Bobby's, there is a knock at Britt's door, and it's Chase. He's glad to find Brad there, and he places them both under arrest. At the cabin, Isaiah knows this situation is complicated, but it has the potential to be amazing. Portia agrees, and thanks to him, she believes things will be okay for the first time in a long time. On the stand, Drew says he doesn't know who shot him. Justine rests her case, and Alexis has no questions. The judge calls a recess until tomorrow for the defense to present their case. Alexis tells Drew that he made the right decision. He again reminds her what is at stake, and she doesn't turn this around. Then he just might remember who shot him.